How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well. We've had some really exciting matches today, and we're going to be going into winners finals right now. Here's a question. Which projectile do you think is more impactful, Mewtwo Shadow Ball or Wii Fit Sun Salutation?
It's kind of a tough question because Mewtwo has the ability to reflect projectiles, so if you could say the Sun because it also has that healing ability for numbers, but then Dill could reflect that right back at him and use it to his advantage, so who knows?
And at the same time, the kill power. You know, every time that Dill has a fully charged Shadow Ball, after like 50%, it's just a mega threat.
Speaking of threats, we see him catching that roll, putting on a threat there with that header, except he ended up air dodging it instead. Coming back to the center stage in Town and City, we see John, just kind of doing some short hops, playing the neutral at a pretty slow pace, waiting for not overcommitting to anything just yet.
But at the same time, he is engaging. Like there's a certain play style of numbers in which he doesn't even want to engage the opponent. But right now, we're seeing that he's trying to look for these openings. He knows that he is the one who have to crack Dill open.
It's kind of funny to watch John jump in front of Dill and just back off every single time, trying to bait on an attack. Wow, he spaced that perfectly. You saw Dill go for that down tilt, expecting numbers to possibly rush in. And here we go, John once again, playing the spacing game, just chilling off stage, charging his Sun Salutation.
When the Fair going to put him off there. But of course, Numbers no stranger to being off stage and being on the ledge. And they're playing a very interesting game with these little projectiles, and we haven't really seen the reflector. I wonder if maybe Dill is holding it in the right there.
As you say, he ends up throwing it out, expecting John to shoot off one prematurely. They're just going to both charge respectively. He spawns the soccer ball just in case he sees a incoming Dill. Still at pretty same percents, but now we see Dill with an advantage, trying to go off stage to apply some pressure. Again, Numbers trying to retaliate with a down air. If he managed to get hit by that, that would have spiked him into the blast zone.
Yeah, we're seeing these confusion again and again. That move, it is a very long-lasting reflector. So, especially at that range where he's not going to get punished, like right there, Numbers spot dodged it and he still got down tilted. And the Fair going to put him way off there. Numbers is definitely, if he's not careful, Dill can definitely end his stock right now.
Well, Numbers is going to be looking for a backer at this point. You see him jumping a lot with his back facing against Dill. Especially right here, just in case Dill comes in, applying pressure. That was such a smart spacing coming from John. He actually pushed Dill away with the backer against the shield and then punished him trying to retaliate with a forward smash. Just threw it out raw.
Yeah, ooh, and the forward air going to close out Numbers' first stock there, leaving this as a very even game. And one of the interesting things is when both of these players are at those pretty high percents, you don't see them really throw out the kill moves. At the very end, their Numbers, managed to get the forward smash. But we haven't really seen Dill throw out up smashes. He's very conscious of he holds them in his back pocket. He does not want to show his hand prematurely. He wants Numbers to think that, oh, I can jump in neutral. Eventually we might see some really hard punish on something like that.
He probably also doesn't want to get punished as well. But now we see him, jumping up back onto the stage. Numbers using the platforms to his advantage to just move across everything. He's out of jumps. This could be an opportunity for Dill, but John just managed to get back scot-free. They're both just playing so patient, not wanting to overcommit to anything. Expecting John to full jump, trying to get caught by that forward air.
And a great back air out of shield to retaliate. These two are now actually it's a slobber knocker hitting each other back and forth. There were 30 seconds where 15% was dealt and then 60 within 5.
Well, their combos aren't really going that far because they're both, not afraid, but they're just very cautious of overextending. They only want to throw out one additional combo afterwards.
Yeah, and especially Numbers because he wants to just take stage positioning. He seems to be getting a lot actually out of putting Dill onto the ledge, throwing him off stage like this. Already he's at 133%. Doesn't respect that disjointed up air though.
Yeah, Numbers was trying to end that stock immediately with that down air. Dill's off stage, manages to shoot the soccer ball right back at Numbers. And right there, Dill is trying to mix up how he recovers back to the stage because there's a multitude of ways of how he can do it, but just runs in straight to the salute to the sun. Yoga move extraordinaire. John Numbers has taken away game number 1.
And it's it's really important to appreciate the fact that Numbers is like not having those suns reflected back at him. Like he is being so good at mixing up his timing, recognizing sort of when he needs to throw them out. And even though Dill has that really long-lasting reflector with the confusion, he's just not actually managing to really make that an effective part of the matchup.
Now we see Dill, with his counter picks here. Probably going to stick around with his Mewtwo. It seems to be working out pretty well for him. I know he also has a Diddy Kong in his arsenal, but he's sticking with Mewtwo, doesn't want to deal with the matchup. John, playing pretty good today. I know at Smash Attack he was a little bit disappointed with his placing because he talked about how he let Venyo win the tournament. Venyo just coming off fresh with the brand new season with a tournament win at Smash Attack. Now sitting in a 5th place finish right now. I mean, no, he's still playing against Dark Blues off stage. If he manages to beat Dark Blues, he'll go on to fight Ralphie on stream for loser semis. That match is actually happening off stream though.
All right, and so now we're seeing this. Numbers is off stage. He's taken 48% already. Definitely a stronger start for Dill. Yeah, he's just being very effective in how he's putting Numbers off stage, punishing him. Finally, Numbers gets an open and gets that up throw up air for 26%. Nice percent.
There's just a lot of guessing games going on off stage. John Numbers tries to cover high, Dill goes low, and vice versa when the other people try to recover. It just keeps happening. Now we see Numbers, just chilling in the center, kicking a soccer ball towards Dill. I like that forward air. I mean, I'm sure he was just trying to cover a short hop, but just ended up hitting the soccer ball instead.
Yeah, that forward air from Mewtwo seems like it might be something that Wii Fit could struggle to really address. We're not really, for the most part, we're not seeing Dill throw out a lot of these anti-air options. Instead, he's opting to play grounded, and Numbers taking advantage of that. He's gotten tons of grabs. He's been out spacing him on the ground really well.
There we go with the forward tilt, pushing him off. Mixing him up completely with that confusion and falling into the forward air, but Numbers just retaliating with that down air, spiking Dill into the abyss.
Yeah, Numbers, even if he's the one technically in disadvantage, but there it is, the up smash. He recovers a little bit too high. Dill capitalizes on that immediately. These two just charging up their projectiles.
Both on their final stocks of this game. John Numbers is his best 2 of 3, so he's 1 game away from taking home this set and moving on to Grand Finals.
Oh, and that was a nice back air out of shield to put on even more damage. And can we talk about Numbers' shield pressure? I've never really known Numbers for his shield pressure, but right now he's just doing an amazing job of staying at this really good range.
He's abusing the range of his back air, like I said previously. He's just constantly pushing Dill away with it, trying to outspace him with it, but Dill's starting to retaliate with that down tilt. Such a scary option, because even if he pushes his shield away, the down tilt can still reach and hit Numbers, and down tilt being a fantastic combo starter for Mewtwo.
Yeah, we're seeing that Dill taking this very patient, stationary style. He's holding his ground, waiting for Numbers to come at him. And yeah, Numbers actually for a long time there, he wasn't charging up the projectiles. He wasn't doing anything like that. Instead, he was trying to find the aerial angle of attack.
Okay, nice bait. John trying to get up and catch Dill, but Dill just runs back and forth. Hits it with the down air, but he still managed to save his double jump. Gets back onto the stage. Tries to hit him with the double back air. Numbers gets back on. Just so much insanity happening on the right side of the stage. But again, we have a grab back throw. Gets the forward air, catches him completely off guard while he's trying to charge up his salutation. And Dill takes him to game 3.
All right, and that was actually really good adaptation from Dill. We saw how he was like the Earthbender style, just standing his ground. The boulder was coming at him, and he just did not flinch. And that ended up paying off really well because of kind of how lackluster Wii Fit's approach options were. But one thing that we didn't really see from Numbers is that technically in that situation, he can also just run away and shoot Sun Salutations in the other direction. He can heal a lot of percent like that, and if he does want to play that long timeout game, that's also a very viable strategy.
I feel like Dill is a little bit too aggressive lately. He's trying to get up there, so even though that's the strategy that John Numbers likes to do normally, he's not doing it against Dill today, I guess, because he's just trying to mix it up. He does have a losing record against him overall. I want to say their set count for last season was in Dill's favor. But recently, John Numbers has been getting the Vs.
Yeah,
W's.
Numbers in general has been like adapting really well, especially against those, you know, players in New York who play the classically better characters. You know, for a while he was trying to figure out counter picks, and then eventually he just committed to the Wii Fit, and he's been able to put in really great work. Ooh, that was awful scary.
Now I'm liking that down tilt, just catching Numbers off stage. There we go. Great combo starter, gets the neutral air, can't get the up air follow up afterwards. Expecting John to try to retaliate with an aggressive option instead of going for an air dodge. You know, shooting off some mini shadow balls. Ooh. Almost expecting an up tilt out of that shield once he landed. See a lot of Mewtwo's go for that.
And we're looking at how these two, there's completely even percents. Right as I say that, Dill finally managed to get a little bit of an opening with that uncharged Shadow Ball to dash attack. Numbers on the ledge, trying to play evasive. Actually, it looks like when Wii Fit does her back air, she pancakes too much for shield grab. No, Wii Fit, of course, does have that amazing crouch. Isn't really quite effective, though, against Mewtwo, considering down tilt is one of the most effective and devastating combo starters in this game. That was such a great bait. And gets it with the little soccer ball.
Trying to hit with that forward air, but again, catches him with the up air as Dill tries to land down onto the platform. There he goes, trying to space out with that up air in that long range of the tail. Nice bait from there. I mean, I was expecting John Numbers to actually roll onto the stage, since that seems to be one of his best case scenarios, but just wait for him to get back on. Goes for the simple grab. Like in the jab into up tilt, nice, trying to catch some more damage up the top, not letting John land down on the ground. Expects the down air to come up and just keeps the locomotive running. Oh, he guesses the wrong direction with that up smash. Okay, he's showing up the platform again, catches it with the 2-frame. Dill expecting it, had the tech at the ready, probably ended up buffering it.
Ooh. And so right now, Numbers has this lead, and we're starting to see, you know, that more aggressive Dill that you were talking about. He knows that right now the pressure is on him to actually...
That 8 is double jump. That was super scary.
Absolutely. And already 65% on him. And I'm not sure if timeout will really be a factor, but keep in mind there are 3 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock. Numbers hasn't lost this first stock if he really gets enough percent, and then, you know, just feels more comfortable hanging back. He very easily could try and opt for that strategy instead.
I thought for sure there was going to be an up smash there, but again, you know, Dill doesn't really want to commit to it. Goes for the down air off stage. Once again, he was exposed a little bit for John Numbers to try to capitalize on that, but just ends up staying up on the stage again. Just gets him with the simple back throw, getting the grab, catching his landing, and we're going into the final stocks. Who will move on to Grand Finals?
Great power shields. The power shields in this matchup are just so important, especially for Numbers. That Shadow Ball from Mewtwo just eats so much of your shield.
Keep trying to catch it. Again, they're playing the reflector game, and when they're that close, there we go, down tilt, only leading up into a forward air. Doesn't really get the follow-up afterwards. Reads the air dodge, but a little bit too slow on the upkeep with that neutral air.
Another F tilt. That move is actually, it's always deceptively strong. I never expected it to be as powerful as it is. And now deep breathing in effect for Numbers. Fun fact, deep breathing actually increases Wii Fit Trainer's walk speed. It makes her walk as fast as she. And we're even seeing it right there. He goes for that walk-up grab, and the Sun Salutation is going to take it. Numbers, he puts his hands up. He's just like, really? That's what it took?
That's the Numbers classic, man. He's a very expressive person. He's going to move on to Grand Finals. Dill's still in Losers Finals, playing the winner of Ralphie versus Venia.